being monitored because he was a 9/11 first responder. He was a cop. And the cancer that you had was a rare form of lung cancer. And 4 other cops that he worked with died of the same cancer.
We got it from the dust.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? His wife became a rich widow. But, yeah.
Still a widow.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start the public participation of the regular Common Council meeting of Wednesday, June 14, 2023. The time is now 7:00 p.m. For those that wish to speak, please, when you approach, state your name and address for the record and limit your time to 3 minutes to speak. The first one on the docket is Mike Moriarty. The mic's on, so you're good to go.
Excellent. Thank you. Good evening, distinguished members of the council. My name is Michael Moriarty. I'm the Chief Financial Officer of Charter Oak State College. I'm excited to be here tonight. We're excited to move to downtown New Britain. I really just, I was here for the Parking Commission earlier. My thanks to the commission for approving that. And I just wanted to introduce myself and say thank you for your support. We're going to be opening up on July 2023. So next month, we're officially going to be opening and bringing employees down to the building. And so you should see an increased presence there. We're a little behind on the signage on the exterior of the building. I didn't like the first draft, and so I wanted them to go back to the drawing board. And I really just wanted to introduce myself, and in case there's any questions, we are here. We plan on being great neighbors, and we have about 100 permanent employees that are going to be in downtown New Britain. I have another 250 adjunct faculty where they're not going to be located downtown permanently, but we do hoteling in that building, meaning those faculty could reserve an office space online, come in for the day, come in for the week. And I just thought this was an opportune moment, if I was here for the last meeting, to come and say thank you for your support, and we're really looking forward to moving downtown. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. That's those that have signed up. Would you like to speak, John?
Thank you, Alderman Dyson. Members of the council, tonight you will have...
Name, address, sorry.
John Board, 37 Highland Terrace. Good evening, members of the council. Tonight, before you, you'll have the Pride in the City resolution, the yearly Pride in the City resolution. Since our start in 2017, in collaboration and consultation with the mayor, we've been in the forefront collaborating closely with other municipal pride organizations, which there are 28, community organizations, nonprofits, and state leaders addressing a wide range of issues facing our community. We are proud to acknowledge, I think, the local strides that we've made in recent years in relation to our MEI score, as well as recognizing the contributions of all LGBTQ+ individuals all over the city. In this year's resolution, there are two main things which I want to highlight. One will be earlier this year, the FDA updated the blood donation donor policy, which removes outdated restrictions based on sexual orientation and moves to a individual risk assessment model. This is a step towards inclusivity that recognizes that blood donation eligibility should be based on individual risk as opposed to other broader assumptions. Additional to that, we have also supported the inclusive interdisciplinary LGBTQ studies in our educational institutions. This will provide a comprehensive education that includes LGBTQ history, experiences, and contributions, something that we've been working closely with the State Department of Education, the Commissioner, as well as members of the New Britain delegation to foster a more inclusive society. I urge this council to unanimously support it. I saw that you guys were all on it, so hopefully y'all will support it and adopt this once again to declare that June is Pride in the City Month in the city of New Britain. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Anyone else on the floor wish to speak before the council? Second time, anyone else speak before the council? Third and final time, anyone else wish to speak before the council? So that's it for here. Is anyone online to speak? No? Okay, seeing none, public participation is now closed at 7:05. The mayor will be here shortly to start the regular meeting. Thank you. Oh, any council members? My apologies. Wish to speak? Address? Thank you.
Okay. This thing never works. Maybe it will. Maybe not. I would like to call to order this regular meeting of the New Britain Common Council. The date is June 14th, 2023. The time is 7:10 p.m. Mr. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Alderpersons Dyson. Here. Ayalon. Here. Catanzaro. Costa. Here. Hargraves. Here. Malinowski. Here. Ortiz Luna. Here. Pabon. Here. Russell. Here. Rutkowski. Here. Sanchez. Here. Skirpo. Segura. Thompson. Smedley. Present. 11 present, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Can we all please rise for the invocation, which will be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance?
Let us pray. O God, our Heavenly Father, we give thanks for the Father in our lives. We remember the many sacrifices our fathers made for us and the ways they believed in and inspired us to achieve our dreams and goals and gave us strength during life's challenges. We give thanks to our Father for his love, dedication, strength, and devotion. We ask this in thy name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Move right into business this evening, as we have quite a hefty agenda. I want to make sure we're being mindful of everybody's time, especially those who we have here in the audience that are waiting until the end for their resolutions. So Alderman Smedley, approval of the minutes.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept the minutes of the regular meetings of May 10th and May 24th, 2023.
I have a second from Alderwoman Ortiz Luna. Thank you. Sorry. Any questions or comments on the minutes? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman, are there amendments tonight?
Yes, ma'am. I make a motion to amend the agenda by substituting item 21.
I have a second by Alderman Malinowski to substitute item 21. Any questions or comments on that? Mr. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Alderpersons Dyson.
Yes.
Ayalon. Yes. Costa. Yes. Hargraves. Yes. Malinowski. Yes. Ortiz Luna. Yes. Pabon. Yes. Russell. Yes. Rutkowski. Yes. Sanchez. Yes. Smedley.
Yes.
11-0, Your Honor.
Motion carries. Into petitions tonight, Mr. Clerk, I see 4.
Yes, Your Honor, we do have 4.
Okay.
Number 1 is from Alderwoman Sanchez for the appropriate departments to establish a communication network between the Friendship Service Center and the City of New Britain to create and support community involvement and understanding of events and actions taking place, especially in regards to the Human Rights and Opportunities Commission and Commission on Community and Neighborhood Development.
Send that to the mayor's office, please.
Okay, number 2 is from Alderman Hargraves for the appropriate departments to install stop signs on Chapman Street at the intersection of Rhodes Street or placing crossing traffic does not stop signage on Rhodes Street.
We'll send that to the police commission.
Okay, number 3 from Alderman Hargraves for the appropriate departments to restrict parking on Stanley Street at the corner of Schultz Street.
Police commission as well.
Okay, and number 4 from Alderman Ayalon for the appropriate departments to describe the scope of the plans to renovate the parking space behind the Friendship Center on Arch Street right behind the Hope Center as follows. What is the nature of the work? What are the dates for the operation? How are residents, businesses, and homeless people who use the space informed and consulted with? What are the plans to offer alternate safe spaces or safe areas for people who are homeless that will ensure close proximity to the Hope Center?
Send that to the mayor's office.
And that's it, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Mr. Smedley will go on to our consent agenda tonight.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept the consent agenda of items A through O. And items 1 through 20 will be off of consent, Your Honor, just to be clear.
So items A through O. I have a second by Alderman Russell. A through O. 1 through 20 come off. Mr. Clerk. If there's no-
Alderpersons Dyson.
Yes.
Ayalon.
Yes.
Costa. Hargraves. Malinowski. Ortiz Luna. Pabon. Russell. Rutkowski.
Yes.
Sanchez. Smedley.
Yes.
11-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. Motion carries. All right. So hold on a second while I just organize my life here, because this is a lot. As we go through items 1 through 20 individually. Alderman Smedley, we'll start with resolution number 1.
Thank you. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 1.
Second by Alderman Russell.
Thank you. Item 36089 is in regards to change the OP office and public buildings district generally located to the north and to the east of Walnut Hill Park to RO, or residential and office district.
Any questions or comments on resolution number 1? Alderman Ayalon.
Thank you. With this resolution, can somebody explain what the meaning of OP is, and as well as the RO and its implication to the residents? Is there anybody?
As it stated in the resolution, OP stands for Office and Public Buildings. RO stands for Residential and Office District.
What are the definitions? What does it mean? Office and public
Who
buildings
would you like to direct
versus
your question to?
residential and office.
Who would you
What's-
like to direct your question to?
Can we have anybody here from the city to explain to us?
Who would you like to direct your question to?
Well, the director, Benjamin, is the one that presented to us in the committee, and I expect him to be here and answer the questions, unless there's somebody else from the city.
Madam Mayor,
Alderman Smedley?
point of information, this was discussed at committee. The definitions were provided at the committee meetings.
Thank you.
Your Honor, this is, the idea is to also educate our audience, our public at home who who didn't view it on commission. Since nobody's here from the city, I make a motion to table this item.
There's a second by Alderwoman Sanchez. Is anyone else in favor of tabling this item? Please say aye.
Aye?
Anybody opposed?
No.
Okay, back on the agenda item. Any other questions or comments on resolution number 1? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
No.
For the record, Alderman Ayala. Motion carries. Item number 2.
Thank you. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 2.
Seconded by Alderman Russell.
Thank you. Item 36090 is in regards to changing the B1 district located along Allen Street to B3 district from approximately Wilcox Street to Dixon Street, and to change the T residential district located on the rear portion of 361 Allen Street to B3 secondary business.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments? Alderman Ayalon, if you're going to do this for item 1 through 20, get it out now because I'm not going to call on
Thank
you.
you.
I'm making that
Your
very clear.
Honor, I live close to Allen Street, and I looked at that, and I need an explanation, and I need the people who live in that area to understand the implication for them. This is a business area, and is there anybody at the city that can answer the question about the changes from B1 to B3, from a neighborhood business to secondary business, approximately from Wilcox Street to Dixon Street? And I looked at that on the map, and I tried to figure out, and I was in the committee here, and I still don't understand the
Alderman, you got an
implications.
explanation on this email earlier today, which says that it's cleanup language because business zones were likely flipped due to a clerical error. This was discussed in the committee, and you were made aware of that earlier today.
Again, since nobody's here from the city to explain that, I move to table
Alderman, it's
this
going to
item.
be a long night if you're going to do this for each one. Is there anyone going to second this tabling? Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye?
Everybody opposed?
Nay.
Motion fails. Are there any other questions on resolution number 2? All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed? For the record, Alderman Ayala, motion carries. Item number 3, Mr. Smedley.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 3.
Seconded by Alderman Russell. Any questions or comments on item number 3? Alderman Smedley.
Thank you. This is item 36091 regarding a change to the CBD located along Broad Street to the B3 or secondary business district from approximately Beaver to Gold, and to change the rear portion of the property located between Broad and Orange Streets from the A2 district to B3 district.
Any questions or comments? The B3 historic underlying zone on Broad Street CBD does not reflect the underlying use or is appropriate for the neighborhood. It is clean up language only. Alderman Smedley.
Motion to move the question.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Smedley.
Your Honor, I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 4.
Seconded by Alderman Russell.
Thank you. Item 36092 to change the A2 district located along Myrtle Street to B3 secondary business from approximately Curtis Street to Bird Street, and to change the I2 general industry district located along Bond Street to A2 residential district. I urge adoption.
Your Honor,
Alderman Bernacki?
there was a vote, thank you.
I'm sorry. I mean, Mr. Clerk, sorry, I'm going back like 20 years.
I don't want to go back.
I
I don't want to go back.
apologize.
There was a vote to move the question that was affirmed, but now you have to vote for the adoption of the resolution.
And anybody, all right, well, we're going back to item number 3.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All those in favor of moving the question signify by saying aye. Any opposed?
No?
Okay, for the record, motion carries with 2 noes. Right. We did. All those in favor of item number 3 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No?
Motion carries. Move for number 4 again.
Thank you. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 4.
Seconded by Alderman Russell.
This is 36092 again, to change A2 to B3 and to change I2 located along Bond Street to A2 residential district.
Any questions or comments? Alderman Ayalon?
Your Honor, again, this is complicated. On Myrtle Street
And it was
is
discussed
again
in
another, Your Honor, let me, if I may finish.
Oh, I
We
asked you.
deserve, the residents of New Britain deserve an explanation of each of those because it has a huge impact. Myrtle Street has many businesses, residential, so that deserves. So I make a motion to table the item.
Your Honor,
I-
point of information.
Alderman,
Just
I
the-
mean, Mr. Dorsey?
The residents that deserve the explanation can get the explanation on the city's website or in the minutes of the subcommittee meeting where this was discussed ad nauseum.
Thank you. It is available, all public information. We're just doing this on purpose to do what we do. Alderman Hargraves.
I just don't understand what we're doing here. We were at 2 hours in committee with extensive questioning to Mr. Benjamin, and I believe all of our questions were answered at that time. And this is very typical. This is not anything different where at committee, we ask questions at length, and we get answers there. So people can attend those meetings. They can watch it online. All the people are there, just so we don't have to go through the same thing twice. I don't understand why would we go through the same thing twice when we spoke at length for over 2 hours at committee. So I'd like for us to go through these agenda items. Mr. Benjamin is not here tonight. We had all of our questions answered, and if there's any other questions, should have answered then. And I think that we should just go through these items. I don't understand why every single resolution, we have to contest it. I just want to give my 2 cents. Thank you.
Thank you for your
Madam
2
Mayor.
cents. Alderman Rakowski?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, through you. We spent about 2 hours, Alderman Hargraves. I concur with you on that statement. Mr. Benjamin was available that night. There's actually 2 people from the city to answer questions to us. He even offered to make a personal appointment with the alderman to explain to him everything that was said that he didn't understand. I'm not sure if the alderman actually took him up on that offer or not, but I know for a fact Mr. Benjamin offered his services even after the committee meeting. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks, Alderman Rakowski. Alderman Ayalon?
Thank you, Your Honor. Let me respond. When we had bonding, restructuring bonding, we had in our committee extensive explanation. Then, when we met as a common council, we had again another explanation. We had a PowerPoint presentation. Now, we're talking today about the most extensive change in our zoning ever, I think, like in the last 50, 60 years. This is no peanuts. This is serious stuff. And the residents, who many times don't even know there's committees, meetings, that's the only source of information. If you look at the Herald, not much. They don't understand. And that has serious implication to their livelihood. So we deserve, for the public, it doesn't matter what I understand, the public needs to understand. And Jack Benjamin has to be here to
So-
make a presentation
Alderman.
and to do that, and then we wouldn't have to go item by item. Right now, I'm left without any
Alderman.
choice but to go item by item. Thank
The
you.
presentations were made, and if you understand them, then why don't you give the explanation for the public then? No? You don't want to answer that?
Your Honor?
I haven't, I was
There's-
just sitting down.
There's a
and if
motion
you
on
wanna
the floor to
respond-
table, which is
Your Honor?
non-debatable, and there's a debate going on here.
Nobody made the motion to table?
Yes, Alderman Island did.
And we had a second.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
then we're done. All those in favor of tabling signify by saying aye. All those opposed?
Nay.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion on the item here?
Madam Mayor,
Alderman Smedley?
I just also want to point out that there are 2 members of the general public in attendance besides everyone else in this room who's an employee. There were no callers on our publicly accessible telephone line. There have been no emails with questions or concerns related to any of these agenda items since they were published online prior to the committee meeting, after the committee meeting. That's all.
Any further question on the motion? Alderman Ayalon?
And that's, thank you, Mr. Stedme, Alderman Smedley, for mentioning it. That's even strengthened my point, that the public is not aware. And once the changing of zones hit them, and when they can't do certain things or could do other things, and they see development they didn't expect in their neighborhood, that's when they will ask, where did this come from? So the fact that the public is not interested is because they don't know the ramifications. So that's even strengthened my point. Thank you.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Smedley.
I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 5.
Seconded by Alderman Russell.
This is to change the B1 Neighborhood Business District located along Osgood Ave to B3 Secondary Business from approximately Corbin Ave to Osgood Park. To change the S3 District located on and around 2005 Corbin Ave to B3 Secondary Business.
As noted in Mr. Benjamin's email to Mr. Ayalon earlier today, it is clean up language due to a clerical error that's been on our books for many, many years, decades. As Mr. Ayalon stated, South Main properties are all out of compliance with B1, and this is looking at preserving residential structures and creating new zones on South Main Street. Alderman Ayalon?
As before, since there's no city employee who can explain to us this,
just
I
gave an
move
explanation.
to table this item.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion fails again, once again, for the show that Alderman Ayalon is choosing to put on for everyone tonight. Any further discussion on item number 6? 5. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Clerk, you're obviously making note of the 2 noes each time, right? Or do you need me to recognize them? Please make sure that you speak up and say that you're a no, otherwise it won't be recorded into the record.
For all of them.
All of them? Is it safe for me to assume right now you're going to vote no on all of them? Okay, for all of them. We'll just save ourselves the time. Alderman Smedley.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 6.
Second by Alderman Russell.
Item 36094 to change the B1 Neighborhood Business District located along South Main Street to B3 Secondary Business District at business-focused intersections including South Whiting Street, Ellis Street, Robert Street, Buell Street. To change B1 Neighborhood Business District to A2 Multifamily Residential District at residential-focused areas located between South Whiting Street and Ellis Street, Trinity Street and Robert Street and Buell Street. And to change select parcels from B1 Neighborhood Business to District T Residential District that contain residential uses.
Alderman Ayalon.
Your Honor, and the public, you heard this is a long one with different changes from neighborhood business to multifamily with certain streets and other streets. And the public needs to understand more of why these changes are. So I make a motion to table this resolution.
All those in favor of tabling, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion fails. Any other questions or comments on item number 6? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Motion carries. Item number 7,
I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 7.
seconded by Alderman Russell.
Item 36095 to change the B3 Secondary Business District located along West Main Street to B1 Neighborhood Business District from approximately Corbin Ave to the Plainville Town Line, and to change the B1 Neighborhood Business District located along West Main Street to B3 Secondary Business District from approximately Vine Street to Corbin Avenue.
Thank you. Once again, this is cleanup language because of a clerical error way back when, flipping B1 and B3. But I'm sure Alderman Ayalon's going to make this motion right now, so go for it.
Thank you, Your Honor. And again, there is nobody here to answer the, reason for clerical error, the reason for this, and maybe the scope of that, so I move to table.
All those in favor of tabling, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion fails. Once again, cleanup language, which was discussed at nauseum in the subcommittee meeting level as to why the clerical error is believed to be in existence, which I'm not understanding why that's not good enough. All those in favor, seeing no hands up, signify by saying aye. Opposed?
No.
Motion carries. Alderman Smedley.
I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 8.
Seconded by Alderman Russell.
36096 to amend sections of the zoning ordinances regarding permitted uses in the I1, I2, and I3 districts.
Once again, cleanup language for creating tiered industrial uses, better defining and standardizing previously undefined industrial uses, updating zoning nomenclature to better reflect the intent of the business. That is the purpose of 36096. Alderman Ayalon.
Thank you, Your Honor. These are, even though it might be cleanup language, people need to understand what these I1, I2, and I3 definitions mean, and what does it mean for the industry here in New Britain. So therefore, I move to table.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion fails. Any other discussion on the item that's on the floor? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Alderman Malinowski.
Your Honor, if I recall correctly from the zoning committee, all these resolutions were put in with favorable recommendations, and they all passed unanimously to be referred back to the full council?
That is correct, sir.
Thank you.
That is correct, including Alderman Ayalon's vote and Alderwoman Sanchez's, so I'm just as confused as you are. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed?
No.
Motion carries. Alderman Smedley.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 9.
Seconded by Alderman Russell.
This resolution is to amend sections of the zoning ordinances to establish more descriptive zoning district designations for certain residential and business districts. For instance, under 100 A1 Residential District, we're going to delete the name of an existing business known as Garden Apartments so that it's more broad as residential district. Thank you, Your Honor.
Alderman Ayalon.
Hoping that helps.
Again, I'm thankful for the honor. I'm thankful for the example. I think other examples would have helped the businesses to understand the implication of the changes of name. So therefore, I move to table.
I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Motion fails. Any discussion on the item at hand as we continue through here?
Your Honor, just another short example. Under 100 A1 Residential District, we're going to add multifamily and low density to the description.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Motion carries. Alderman Smedley.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 10.
Oh, second by Alderman Hargraves. Switch it up a little bit.
This resolution is to amend sections of the zoning ordinances to allow home professional office use as a special exception in residential districts and as an accessory use in certain business districts.
Thank you. Alderman Ayalon.
Well, thank you, Your Honor. I think this is really an important item for especially people from working from home. So that would have been very interested to hear the city explanation of these changes. And therefore, since no city rep is here to explain to us, I move to table.
Seconded by Alderwoman Sanchez. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion fails. Any further discussion? This actually is allowing home professional offices where it was never allowed before, but that was discussed in committee. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Motion carries. Alderman Smedley.
Thank you. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 11.
Seconded by Alderman Malinowski.
Thank you, Your Honor. This will be to amend sections of the zoning ordinances to add multifamily and home professional office as special exception uses, reduce certain dimensional standards, and add new parking standards in the RO district.
Alderman Ion.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is another very important item because there were changes to the front lawn, changes to all this. I think this is really crucial for especially single homeowners to understand what this is, and that's why it would have been helpful to have a representative here to explain to the audience what it's all about. Therefore, I move to table.
One second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion fails. Once again, we'd like to refer anybody watching who has questions on this back to the 2-hour subcommittee meeting where all of these questions were answered and discussed. Any further discussion? Alderman Dyson?
Yes, just real quick, Your Honor. We went through this at length, which is available to the public, so just point of information, if it's so important and you think it's great, it's just amazing that you're voting no to all these that are very important to our city, just for a point of order. But I'm in full support of all these changes, and I agree with everybody else. We did discuss this for 2 hours. It's available online if anybody needs videos. They can certainly call the zoning office and get their specific questions answered, more so than being able to hear something in the city council forum. So, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Alderman Smedley?
Thank you, Your Honor. Just wanted to point out the benefit of item number 11 if all the older people read their packets. For instance, lowers the minimum square footage required in dimensional regulations in the RO zone for parking or their spaces. And then the parking requirement is the second addition there, 1.5 spaces per dwelling. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And just for everybody watching at home too, there are these beautiful PowerPoint presentations that are also attached to the subcommittee meeting that is available on the city's website, titled Zoning Petitions to the Common Council on June 6, 2023, and also OP zone revisions that are all available to the public, which all of the elder persons have as well, that outline all of the changes. Alderman Ayalon, did I see a question?
Yes, I just want to comment on, I'm thankful, Your Honor, that you're giving the public some reference for PowerPoint and all of this. But in our committee meeting, I had many questions that were not answered, and that's another reason why. For example, my question was to Mr. Benjamin was on average, on the balance. How many more residential, positions, residential zones are we adding? And he had no idea. He had no answer. So I think that
I think that that's relevant.
beyond the information they have, and they can look in agenda and minutes. The giving back and the question and answer are very important for the public. Thank you.
Right. And once again, all available online at newbritanct.gov. Any further questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed?
No.
For the record, motion carries. Alderman Smedley.
8 more to go. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 12.
Second by Alderwoman Ortiz Luna.
Thank you. Item 36100, to amend a section of the zoning ordinances to add 3-family as a permitted use and home professional office as a special exception in the T district.
Alderman Ayalon.
Yes, this is an interesting one, that a new addition, and the free family position in the T. So again, these are issues that the public, I think, is not really understanding. For public, mostly it's residential or not. there's T, there's RO, there are many different, and I'm sure many of us still don't understand the different definitions. So that's where I think the city, Mr. Benjamin would have been very helpful, so therefore I move to table.
Seconded by Alderwoman Sanchez. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye?
Opposed? Motion fails. As a point of order, adding three family detached dwellings to the T zoning district. T-zone is an appropriate zone for three family detached dwellings to locate. However, they are not currently permitted in a zone, if you refer to your map, that has plenty of them. Adding three family detached dwellings to permitted uses in the T district allows for many non-conforming properties to be conforming. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No?
Motion carries. Alderman Smedley.
Make a motion to accept and adopt item number 13.
Seconded by Alderman Pabon.
Thank you. This resolution is to amend a section of the zoning ordinances to make a use correction to the East Main Street TOD zone by switching single-family use from TOD EM1 to TOD EM2 district.
Thank you. Again, just a simple typo from when it was created. Alderman Ayalon.
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, there are some what is TOD, EM1, and so on, and so on. I think the resident need to understand those, and therefore, I move to table.
Seconded by Alderwoman Sanchez. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye?
Excuse me, sorry about that.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion fails. Any comments?
Point of information, Your Honor, just the TOD 1 and 2, those were passed by the Common Council, I believe in 2018, when Alderman Ayalon was on the council and voted in favor of the zone changes, so he's well aware of what they are.
Thank you, or should be. Any questions? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No?
Motion carries. Alderman Smedley.
I make a motion to accept and adopt item 14, Your Honor.
Seconded by Alderman Malinowski.
This resolution is to amend a section of the zoning ordinances to correct a numbering error in the B1R district. Should be an easy one.
Any questions or comments on that? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Smedley.
Your Honor, I make a motion to accept and adopt item 15.
Seconded by Alderman Russell.
This is to amend sections of the zoning ordinances to create a tiered industrial use classification, move certain motor vehicle uses from B3 to B1, reduce front yard setback requirement in the B1, and incorporate design standards in the B3.
Any questions or comments? Alderman Ayalon.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's an important section. It says move certain motor vehicle uses from B3 to B1. What does that mean? Does it mean that, for example, some vehicle, ownership, car dealership have to move? This is, I know that in committee we talked about, they said no, they don't, but I think the public needs to understand that. That's why I think it would have helped to have a city representative here, so I move to table.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye?
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion fails. Alderwoman Sanchez.
I heard that, yes, I did
Please
vote
stand up.
yes. I did vote yes at Mr. Benjamin's meeting, but after that, a few of the seniors out there approached me saying that they don't even know how to use a computer, or they still using the Obama phone. So that's why I'm voting the way I'm voting tonight. They don't have the way, like, because my mom knows how to use the computer, but seniors, I'm talking about 80 something, I don't wanna, that's why the way I'm voting like that today. Because people approach me saying that they don't have the facility, like, to use, they don't even know how to use a computer. That's why.
Okay. Anyone else? All right, moving on. as part of the discussion here, after conducting an analysis of B1 and B3 corridors, it was apparent that many of the parcels are already non-conforming due to not meeting the dimensional requirements or use requirements for the respective districts. That's a problem for us. So design standards were recommended, which is what you see here, should be implemented for neighborhood mixed use to create a more pedestrian-friendly environment. And the goal of creating these business districts, B1 through B3, B standing for business, is to update and modify the zoning text and zoning boundaries to create more compatible zoning requirements, resulting in less variances needing to be granted.
Probably wouldn't affect the scene.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed?
No.
For the record, motion carries. Alderman Smedley.
Make a motion to accept and adopt item 16.
I have a second by Alderman Russell.
This resolution is to amend a section of the zoning ordinances to require minimum building height along certain primary corridors in the CBD.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments? Alderman Ayalon.
Your Honor, this is an important one with the building certain height, and so it's for people who want to renovate their house or get permit, and so this is really important and should be discussed, should be by a city representative. So I move to table.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion fails. Alderman Smedley.
Your Honor. Under this resolution, the new language, I'm just going to read it verbatim, just to prove a point. The minimum building height of any structure fronting on the following streets shall be not less than 3 stories: Main Street, Bank Street, Main Street to Columbus Boulevard, Arch Street, Walnut Street to Hart Street, and Whiting Street, Chestnut Street, Main Street to Route 9, Columbus Boulevard, Cedar Street to Chestnut Street, and West Main Street, Main Street to South High Street, and High Street. Not much to question there. Not much to question.
Any questions or comments on that? Again, in the PowerPoint presentation that was given, the dimensional changes in the B-Run district, and it gives rationale for them too. A 40 front yard setback encourages parking between the building and the street. A front yard setback of 25 feet is compatible with most other districts and allows for more developable lot area for businesses. As a result, the increase from 0.7 to 1 is reflected in these. That was in the last petition, actually. But you have, my point being is that you have all of these definitions and explanations at everybody's disposal. And again, this is the exact reading from the PowerPoint with all of your district design standards, including building height, the additions to all of the cleanup language for the minimum height requirements to the central business districts are all specified and spelled out clearly. Any questions or comments on that? Alderman Ayalon.
Thank you, Your Honor. Following that committee meeting with all the amount of, what I was thinking would have been helpful for everybody, including the public, would have been a simple table, one-page table showing how the changes versus the old. If the height change, put the height change. And this would have been much easier for all of us and the public to understand the scope of the changes. Thank you very much.
Alderman Smedley.
Madam Mayor, if through you, if the Alderman will refer back in his packet, there are said tables that he requested where they strike through the old, and the table below has the new additions.
That is correct.
It actually says delete and add in bold print.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
No.
For the record, motion carries. Alderman Smedley for item number 17.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item 17.
Seconded by Alderman Malinowski.
This resolution is to amend sections of the zoning ordinances to add subsection 230-40-20, requiring front yard areas not occupied by legal driveway, parking or walkway surfaces to be either lawn or appropriate, and attractive landscaping consisting primarily of vegetative ground cover. I do urge adoption.
Thank you. And just to couple on that for a moment, in the PowerPoint presentation with the text cleanup that was identified, the reason is that it requires the front yard area not occupied by a legal driveway, parking or walkway surfaces must be either lawn or appropriate and attractive landscaping consistent consisting primarily of vegetative ground cover, and this purpose is to protect the residential character of our neighborhoods by not allowing front yards to be mostly impervious surface. Alderman Ayalon.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. This is an important one, and the question, of course, for the public, how is that different than before? If I remember, we all usually have to make our front yard mowed or to, but in the reinforcement. So, yeah, this is an important one that it would have been nice to have a city employee to explain to us what is this about, and therefore I move to table it.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion fails. Means you can't pave your front yard, Alderman. That's what it means. And for somebody that's so supportive of having impervious surface area all around the city, I would think that you would be in support of this. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Smedley.
I make a motion to accept and adopt item 18.
Seconded by Alderman Malinowski.
This resolution is to amend sections of the zoning ordinances to reflect changes to the state statute made during the 2022 legislative session and to clarify distance requirements.
Alderman Ayalon.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm all for of course, following the state statute. It would have, would have been helpful to explain to the public and how does the state statute affect this, and therefore, I move the table.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion fails. Again, reason, current definitions for adult use cannabis and its various license type in the city of New Britain do not match the state's definitions and the uses granted under the various license type. Our definitions need to be updated to reflect the state's definitions and the uses granted with each license type, and that's what this reflects. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Motion carries. Doesn't even make any sense. Alderman Smedley.
I make a motion to accept and adopt item 19.
Seconded by Alderman Hargraves.
For those watching at home, we're on to the regular agenda now. This is a resolution regarding the lease agreement with Exclusive Development LLC for 12 unassigned parking spaces at the Arch Street parking lot for $30 per month per vehicle, and I do urge adoption.
Thank you very much, Alderman. Are there any questions or comments on this? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 20.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 20.
Seconded by Alderwoman Ortiz Luna.
Thank you. This resolution is also a lease agreement, but with Charter Oak State College and the Connecticut State Colleges for 180 unassigned parking spaces in the First Sergeant Henry Szczesny parking garage at a monthly rate of $35 per vehicle. I do urge adoption.
Thank you. Any questions or comments regarding this item? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Smedley, item number 21.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 21 proudly.
Seconded by Alderwoman Costa. Sorry, did I hear that? Oh. There you go.
If you'll indulge me, I'm going to read the resolution, Your Honor. Members of this council support the rights, freedoms, and equality of those who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and questioning LGBTQ+. And in June 2017, New Britain Pride, the city's LGBTQ+ outreach organization, was formed in consultation with Mayor Stewart. Since last year, New Britain Pride has started to lead the way in collaborating with other municipal pride organizations and nonprofits to establish a working group with the State Department of Education to develop a model curriculum inclusive of LGBTQ studies. And over the last several years, the city has been increasing its human rights campaign score. Go us. Individuals in the city who are LGBTQ have made and continue to make vital contributions to every aspect of our city. And therefore, be it resolved, the New Britain Common Council that the New Britain Common Council recognizes that LGBTQ rights are human rights and are protected by the Constitution. Number 2, reorganizes that all residents should be treated fairly and equally regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity. 3, encourage all residents to join the celebration of LGBTQ Pride Month to provide a continuing opportunity for all persons to learn about the discrimination and inequality that has been faced. 4, aims to continue to increase our human rights campaign municipality index score in the coming years. Say that 3 times fast. 5, applauds the Food and Drug Administration's updated blood donation policy. 6, supports the development of a model curriculum inclusive of LGBTQ studies. And 7, agrees that the City of New Britain must strive to ensure that the promise of equality is realized for all. Mayor, I want to thank everybody who attended our Pride flag raising ceremony last week. It was a well-attended event. We had a lot of great representation. Our Pride Chairman, John Board, did a great job putting that together, and we do thank him for all the work behind the scenes to raise our MEI scorecard as well. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Alderman Smedley. Any other alderperson wish to comment? I too would just like to thank John for all the work that he does on behalf of our community and helping partner with us to make us better and more inclusive. Thank you for always showing up and forcing us to. No, honestly, thank you for always being a staunch advocate and making us realize what we can do more and what we can do a better job at. So thank you for that. And just to give a plug too, if anybody's interested in joining the New Britain Pride Committee, John would love your membership. So message him directly, or New Britain Pride on all their handles everywhere. You're welcome. Any other alderperson? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Alderman Dyson, Resolution 22 tonight.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to adopt and accept item number 22.
Seconded by Alderman Russell.
Thank you. Since 1916, Americans have joined together to honor and celebrate the symbol of freedom, as today, and hope for this great country, Flag Day. President Woodrow Wilson, over 100 years ago, officially established Flag Day as June 14th. President Harry Truman declared the proclamation in 1945, and on that day, he stated, "Our flag is accompanied our fighting men on 100 battlefields. It flies beyond the seas, over the friendly lands our arms have freed, and over the hostile countries our arms have conquered. Our flag will be planted in the heart of the empire of our last remaining enemy. As we press forward to final victory, we are strengthened with the knowledge that for millions of people in other lands, as well as in our own, our flag is a living token of human integrity and freedom. And for us, it's still an example of liberty, democracy, prosperity, for all those willing to strive to fulfill personal achievements, political success, patriotic duty, religious freedom, and fruition of life." And I strongly urge adoption, although the day is waning, but it was a great Flag Day. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Alderman. Any other alderperson wish to comment? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Hargraves, resolution number 23 tonight.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt resolution number 23.
Seconded by Alderwoman Costa.
So this resolution recognizes June also as Caribbean American Heritage Month. For centuries, Americans have been united with our Caribbean neighbors, not only by friendship, but economic cooperation, common values, and through their rich cultural exports. In 2006, President George W. Bush signed a resolution after multi-year efforts by the Institute of Caribbean Studies to recognize the valuable contributions that Caribbean people made and their descendants to the United States. Caribbean Americans have prospered in every sector of our society and enhanced our national character. They are doctors, lawyers, public servants, scientists, athletes, service members, and much more. Their contributions have added vibrancy to our society and made lasting contributions to the advancement of America. Locally, the New Britain Social Club promoted events in our community that have shared the rich Caribbean culture with residents. And just this past Monday, we had a nice flag-raising ceremony for the Caribbean American Heritage Month. And thanks for everybody that showed up. This month is full of all types of flag raisings. That poll is going to see many different many different flags this month. But yeah, the city recognizes June 2003 as National Caribbean American Heritage Month, and we encourage all residents to celebrate their history and culture of Caribbean Americans, and I urge adoption.
John Board, you're silly. Thank you, Alderman Hargraves. And a big shout out to our Commission on Human Rights and Opportunities Chairwoman, Jessica Angelo Julian, for leading the charge in celebration of Caribbean American Heritage Month. Thank you, Madam Chair. Any other questions or comments on this item? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Dyson, Resolution 24.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 24.
Seconded by Alderwoman Sanchez.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is for the Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month. hardly doubt anybody hasn't been touched by these degenerative diseases, which are, as in my family, awful. Alzheimer's disease is a progressive degenerative disease of the brain and the most common form of dementia. Alzheimer's disease results in impaired memory, thinking, behavior, usually begins gradually, causing a person to forget recent events and have difficulty performing familiar tasks. The disease causes confusion, personality, and behavioral changes, and eventually the person loses the ability to care for themselves. Alzheimer's is a fatal disease and results in more deaths than breast cancer and prostate cancer combined. There are 78,000 people in Connecticut living with Alzheimer's disease and 178,000 caretakers. The Alzheimer's Association asks all people to come together in June to support Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month and join the fight to end this crippling disease. And I urge people to, look, as we've always said, look at the signs, ask questions, get help. So there's plenty of people out there that are familiar with Alzheimer's and dementia. So if you can get it early enough, it certainly will help. There is some medications that help it early on. If you wait too long, it's an awful disease, and I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderman Dyson. Any other alderperson wish to address this item? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Malinowski, item 25.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is a budget amendment for the fire department. Fire department was awarded a FEMA grant, and it will pay for sprinkler installation in stations 4 and 8, and technical rescue VMR technician training. And I believe Chief Ortiz is here if anybody has any questions, and I urge adoption.
Second.
I have a motion, right?
Yeah, I might move to accept and adopt.
I have a second by Alderman Russell.
Yeah.
Got it. Thanks, Alderman. Any other questions or comments? It was seconded by Russell. Okay. Any other questions or comments on the acceptance of this grant? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Malinowski for item 26 as well.
I make a motion to accept and adopt item 26.
Seconded by Alderwoman Sanchez.
This is another budget amendment for the fire department, and this is 2021 Assistance for Firefighters Grant for rapid intervention training, bailout kits, accountability systems, and I urge adoption.
Thank you. Any questions or comments on this item? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Pabon, item number 27 today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're very welcome.
This is a very important one, too. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 26.
27. I have a second by Alderman Malinowski.
This is a budget appropriation for the police department, from the American,
Oh, hold on, wait. I just gotta, can you push your mic on? I just gotta turn everyone else off. There you go. Okay. There you go. You're good.
Okay, this is from the American Recovery Plan Act for the amount of $94,444. This is to go out after car theft and other drivers, instructed drivers. And I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderman Pabon. Are there any questions or comments on the acceptance of this grant for the police department? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Smedley, item number 28.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item 28.
I have a second by Alderwoman Ortiz Luna.
Thank you, Your Honor. The New Britain Downtown District each year submits a budget for the fiscal year, and item 28 has that budget. Ms. Bosco is here if anyone has any questions. Thank you.
Any questions or comments on item number 28? Just as a point of information, as cited in the resolution, the property owners at their annual meeting approved a levy upon taxable interest in the district as defined by our zoning ordinances of 3.25 mils for the following year. This is beginning July 1 in concert with our new budget as well. It actually represents a decrease of 0.55 mils from the current fiscal year's mill rate for the downtown district of 3.8. It's an additional tax that's levied on properties that are in this district in accordance with the ordinances and the enabling statutes with the state. Alderman Ayalon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can we have somebody here explain it maybe to the residents? What does that mean, downtown district, for people who have no idea what this is about?
Hello, Mrs. Bosco. Would you mind telling us what the downtown district is? Oh, hold on, wait. Can you put your mic on? I just gotta. There we go. Too many of them were on. It wasn't you. I had to knock somebody out.
Good to go?
Yep. Great.
Again, thank you for having me. I'm here to present the Downtown District's budget for fiscal year 2023-24, something a lot of you have seen before. I guess I can go into how we exist, Alderman Island, if that helps. Sure. As Mayor said, we did decrease our budget by 0.55 mils. It was a reval year. We had to be cognizant to the property owners to obviously accommodate the tax burden, in addition to the tax levy that they're already garnered. Just quick background, or maybe you need a refresher. The Downtown District was created in 1983 through Connecticut State Statute, Chapter 105A, further adopted by the New Britain Common Council October 19th, 1983, and established as a Downtown Special Services District under Article 2, Chapter 20.5-20-21 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of New Britain. Per this ordinance, it is stated that in accordance with Section 7-33R, the Connecticut General Statutes, it shall be the obligation of the Common Council to impose the recommended levy as a municipal levy, and such levy shall be in addition to the regular levy, and it shall be the obligation of the city to collect such levy for the benefit of the district. Does it help answer our incorporation?
Thank you. And could you describe the activities? I understand that the downtown businesses then pay tax for this, right? What do they get in return?
Sure. So the property owners that are within the downtown district, we have 102 properties, 24 being tax exempt, so you're down to 78. Given that they do pay this extra mill rate, it goes into our operating budget, as you see in front of you. We do a number of revitalization activities for the downtown. So that's through beautification programs, through help supplementing public works with funds for whether it's trash cans, planters, equipment for your their downtown maintainers, special events. We have 4 big special events. Hopefully, I know many of the folks here have supported and attended them, and I'm grateful for that. You're looking at Halloween trick-or-treat safe zone, the holiday tree lighting, Hoops for Homeless. We've done in the past. We've done a car show in the past, and we're looking to expand and do more of that, with the goal obviously being to bring people downtown to see it, see how clean, see how safe, see how fun that is, and how it's transformed tremendously over the years. Addition to those, I'm working with the property owners to help find tenants, help find quality tenants, rental assistance, any sort of liaison activity to really help build and protect downtown.
Okay, thank you. And for maybe for residents, what's coming up in the next half of the year? Summer and fall, what's to expect?
Sure. One initiative of this budget specifically was to help program Central Park more. So we have 2 events coming up this summer. One it's called Art in Our Heart. It's a outdoor open air vendor fair. We have artists come in and entrepreneurs sell their handmade goods. So that's July 1st as well as August 5th. And then fall is usually our biggest event time. So again, we have the Halloween trick-or-treat safe zone. That's always on Halloween, October 31st. The holiday tree lighting will be December 1st. Timeframes on those, I'm sorry, are TBD right now. We'll know a little closer. And then also hoping to do a new event in the fall, maybe a beer and wine tasting. That's in tandem with the Chamber of Commerce.
All right. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Your Honor.
Any other questions for Ms. Bosco? Thank you very much. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Rakowski, item number 29.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Item 29, this is for $102,000 to Comprehensive Environmental Incorporated for professional consulting services for bidding and construction oversight of the Widgerville Dam rehabilitation, and I urge adoption.
I have a motion, right?
Yes, you do, Your Honor.
And I have a second by Alderman Russell. Thank you.
Yes, you do, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. Any questions or comments on this item? Alderman Ayalon.
Thank you. This is an interesting item because the budget is for actually a company that to do the bidding, and so maybe or Assistant Director could explain to us what's behind this. Thank you.
Mr. Espada, please.
The process is quite complicated. It's a very specialized type of engineering, dam engineering. It's very detailed, very specific type of geotechnical engineering. So while my experience is water, I don't really have the experience to be a dam engineer. I'm a damn good engineer, but I'm not a dam engineer. So we need this help. We also need construction site oversight. They're going to provide inspection. They're going to write up the contracts, take care of the bidding, send out the mailing, overlook the materials that are going to be used, make sure that everything's being done to standard. And that's why we have them here.
And most importantly, they'll be the ones obtaining the proper permits to do the work for us.
Yes,
from the city.
we are in the process of obtaining all the permits and working on that, yes.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Smedley.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 30.
Seconded by Alderwoman Costa.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is a resolution related to a payment in the amount of $148,164 to Tesla Incorporated for the removal and reinstallation of solar panels at Smalley Elementary School, and I do urge adoption.
Thank you very much. Are there any alderpersons who have any questions on this? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Malinowski.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item 31.
Seconded by Alderwoman Ortiz Luna.
And this is for the purchase of a 2024 Freightliner six-wheel dump truck for the amount of $209,753.29 for the Public Works Utilities Division. And I urge adoption.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions or comments on this? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Dyson.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 32.
Seconded by Alderwoman Sanchez.
Thank you. This is to approve a purchase of $129,921.84 to Hydrograss Corporation for 2 new remote control lawn mowers for the New Britain Public Works Department. The existing mowers were purchased in 2000. Just real quick, Your Honor, since Mr. Moriarty is here, I'd love to know just real quick with the remote control. If it wasn't so much money, I could see sitting in my patio having a cold beverage and watching the lawnmower go, but somehow I don't think that's it, so.
Mr. Moriarty, please explain what these are.
Yeah, the big thing about these mowers is for areas like Walnut Hill Park on the steep slope or any other steep slope where it's fairly, we've been trying to do some of these things with the weed whackers. They're very dangerous for our staff. These are primarily for steeper slope areas. Why there's one on the park side and one on the utility side is some of the steeper dams too. So this is primarily, we tried a bunch of them out on some of the steepest slopes, even in wet conditions, and they're very stable. One injury would cost more than either one of these costs. So, I mean, injury prevention is a big thing that we try to do, like safe workplace. So that's a big part of this too. But yeah, it's a smart move. It's probably long overdue, but we had some old technology that did this several years ago, and it really wasn't at the level that these are at now. So,
Thank you. Alderman Ayalon.
Thank you for, yes, I know in agriculture, there's a lot of remote combines and all over the country. Is your department planning to purchase more of them and use them more in regular, in the parks?
no, there's really not a need. These two will handle our needs. I mean, there's a limited amount of steep slopes, and the two mowers that we're purchasing will handle those on the frequency that is needed.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Moriarty? Thank you. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderwoman Ortiz Luna, item number 33 tonight.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 33.
Seconded by Alderman Russell.
It's regarding tax abatements, corrections, and refunds to allow the tax collector to distribute accordingly, and I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Any questions or comments? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Smedley, item 34.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept item 34 and refer to the Committee on Administration, Finance, and Law.
Second.
Seconded by Alderwoman Ortiz Luna.
Thank you. This will be an amendment to Section 2-52 of the Code of Ordinances regarding the posting of public hearing notices. And it will be discussed in committee, but it's primarily because the Herald no longer publishes a Sunday paper, and the current rates for publication on the weekends are astronomical. We'll discuss further in committee. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any further questions on the referral? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Rutkowski, Trench Repair Program.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 35.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Smedley.
This is a public bid number 4129 for $312,920.57 to Weber Nursery for the annual trench repair program 2023 for the Public Works Department. The money is available in their account and according to their budget, and I urge adoption.
Thank you very much, Alderman Rutkowski. Are there any questions or comments on the trench repair program? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Rutkowski, milling and paving contract for the year.
I'll just stand, thank you.
Yes.
I may make a motion to accept and adopt item number 36.
Seconded by Alderwoman Ortiz.
This is a corporate purchasing order for the milling and paving of various streets in the Public Works Department for the 2023 paving and rehabilitation program. And for $2,010,000, which is in their budget for the 2023 fiscal year, and I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderman Rutkowski. Are there any questions or comments on the allocating of the money for the paving program? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Rutkowski.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 37.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Smedley.
Item number 37 is a corporate purchasing order for equipment and services for the traffic signal detection equipment, installation of pavement markings in various streets in conjunction with the 2023 paving and rehabilitation program for the Public Works Department. And I urge adoption.
Thank you. Any questions or comments on this item? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman?
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 38.
Second.
I have a second by Alderman Smedley.
This is for traffic and parking control for the purchase of 3 rectangular, I'm sorry, I was just trying to see that here. Rapid flashing beacons for $25,500, and I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderman Rutkowski. Alderman Hargraves.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is actually great. It's good to have pedestrian flashing to make sure that our pedestrians are safe. Connecticut streets had one of its worst years for pedestrians last year, so in order to do this, and I spoke to Director Moriarty about the 3 at Walnut Hill, and I said maybe we can look at other parks and possibly Wildwood Street to help protect pedestrians on going to Chesley Park coming from the substation parking lot. We often have people parked on Wildwood Street illegally, and we've been working on that. It's improved tremendously this year. But in order for people to feel more safe, I would think that there should be an additional area. So I'd like to propose an amendment. In the 5th whereas, I'd like to strike Walnut Hill Park and change to various parks. And in the 8th whereas, I'd like to strike Walnut Hill Park and replace with various parks. And I urge acceptance.
I'm just writing it down. Replace Walnut Hill Park and the 2 whereases with various parks, and I have a second by Alderwoman Costa. Is there any discussion on on the amendment? All those in favor of the amendment, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. We'll go back to the discussion on the resolution as amended once. Is there any further discussion on this amended item? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries as amended. Thank you. Alderman Smedley, resolution number 39.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt resolution number 39.
Second by Alderman Malinowski.
Thank you. This resolution will authorize the mayor and the common council to issue the Polish Council of Greater New Britain said licenses that may be issued under Chapter 5, Section 5-15 through 22 of the Code of Ordinances for Sunday, August 19th, 2023, for the purposes of conducting the annual Dożynki Festival. Dożynki, thank you, Alderman, at the Polish Falcon Polanka Field at 721 Farmington Avenue, located here in our great city. I do urge adoption.
Thank you.
And go get some pierogies.
Thank you, Alderman Smedley. Alderman Ayalon?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I just want to mention that Central Connecticut State University has a series of performances of music and famous artists, many of them from Poland and Ukraine, and I recommend you to attend them. I'll be happy to send the invitations from Central. Thank you.
All those in favor of Dożynki signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Wait, hold on, sorry, hold on. Alderman Hargraves asked for a point of personal privilege tonight, and I just want to give him a moment. It's important.
Thank you, Your Honor.
It's very important.
So we have a lot coming up this weekend here in New Britain. In addition to the Rose Garden Festival, there's also going to be the Passport to Freedom in honor of Juneteenth with various events happening throughout the weekend. This was organized and presented by the Mary McLeod Bethune Club, the New Britain NAACP, Gallery 66 in the Downtown District, the Commission on Human Rights and Opportunities, the New Britain Museum of American Art, New Britain High School African American Club, and the Black Ministerial Alliance. And I'd just like to list some of the events that's happening this weekend in honor of Juneteenth, beginning on Friday night with the Gallery 66 opening reception, Proclaim Freedom, featuring artwork that celebrates diversity, inclusivity, and pride. That's from 6 to 8 on Friday. And then after, there's going to be they call it Blackout Affair, semi-formal attire at the Elks Club on Elm Street, hosted by the Pride of CT 1437 Temple. That'll be from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. on Friday night. And then on Saturday, the New Britain Museum of American Art will have a Juneteenth celebration from 11 to 4. All-day celebration featuring artistic performances, music, vendors, food, and much more. And then on Sunday, which is also Father's Day, don't forget it's Father's Day too for all our fathers in here. Happy Father's Day. There'll be a gospel concert over at South Church. That's presented by the Black Ministerial Alliance. And then on Monday, Central Park, the second annual Juneteenth Freedom Fest hosted by Mayor Aaron Stewart and the Commission on Human Rights and Opportunities. Their staff did a great job putting this event together. It consists of a flag raising, live music by the Timmy Maya Experience Band, free hot dogs and hamburgers for all the attendees, and a bunch of local nonprofits. So a lot of things happening. I think we're the only city in Connecticut that has a whole weekend full of events in celebration of Juneteenth, and I encourage everyone to attend. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, Alderman. Okay.
Motion to adjourn?
Alderman Rutkowski, seconded by Alderman Malinowski. All those in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? We are adjourned. The time is 8:22 p.m.